Hey Hodies, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemess Tom, and let's check in on my current makeup wish list and talk through maybe why I don't need to buy some things and maybe explain to you why I'm very interested in some things. So it could be a little bit of a wild ride, but I would like for you to join me on it. I'm a spreadsheet girly. I'm not good at making them, but I love them. Does my CPA probably hate me because I'm really bad at spreadsheets? Yeah. My wish list right now is a little bit sparse, and I'm going to talk about this in a later video this month, a little bit about why. If you're a channel member or a patron, you'll know what I'm talking about. I probably should scoot to the side because I feel like I'm gonna need to put imagery up for you. Hanny. And this one I think it's gonna immediately come off, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna share a little bit. Charlotte Tilbury re-released the Glowgasm palette, and for some reason, in my mind, I was like, well, I need that. I've had more luck than not with Charlotte Tilbury products, and I don't like the brand. Don't like that I get swept up in some of their stuff sometimes, but there is literally no reason that my brain should have been like, that's something that I want. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you'll know I don't love face palettes. I don't find them worth my time. I would much rather have individual compacts of all of my face products rather than have duos or face palettes. You could be the opposite of me, and that's great, but I don't need an all-in-one. The reason I don't like all-in-ones is that there's no way that if I bought this palette that I'm gonna like all four of those things, or that all four of those things together is gonna be the exact makeup look I'm gonna wanna do all the time. They're not that versatile, and that's the problem. Like, I have a contour that I like to wear whenever I'm doing cool tone looks, and I have a contour that I wear whenever I'm doing warmer toned looks, and there's only one contour in there. So it is going to be the contour that I use when I'm using that palette. I will either love the blush, or I will either love the highlighter, I will love the bronzer, or I will love the contour. It's like I will love one of those things, but not all of those things, or I might love two of those things. There's just no way, just based on statistics, that this is going to be a palette where I love exactly all four of those things. I even saw it in person and thought about buying it because it did look just as pretty in person as it did in my mind, but I know that that would have been a bad purchase for me. I think that my time over lusting this is done, and I'm gonna remove it from my wish list. It didn't make sense in the first place, and it certainly doesn't make sense for me now. I follow some creators that really like Charlotte Tilbury products, and I think I got swept in the hype of what they were talking about. I watched Natasha of Too Much Tosh talk about and compare all of the Glowgasm palettes. I didn't even know there was more than one. And I was like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. The release accounts were like, oh my God, it's back. And I was like, oh my God, it's back. I didn't even know it was ever a thing. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I need to buy it. And I'm removing it from the spreadsheet. How do I delete it? Clear. It's gone. The next thing I want to talk about is more of like a concept. I want a sheer black lipstick or lip gloss, or maybe a lip oil. I'm pretty open to what that might look like. So I know that Ritual de Fille makes a couple of them, like a lipstick, and I think they also make a lip gloss or lip oil. I know that Paco Rabanne has the like cool toned sheer black thing that Kaki always talks about, which could be an option. There's the Isamaya black lip lacquer, which I like, the silver one that I have, but I don't want to spend $40 on it, which is really that. And like, I don't know, I just feel, I feel some kind of way about the brand Isamaya all the time. So it's like not sure where I want to buy it. It's more of a concept. And I don't even know that I want to spend that much money on it. So like spending as much as it would cost to spend on Ritual de Fille. And a lot of the times their black shades are site exclusive. Just talking off the cuff here, so I have no idea if these particular shades are, but a lot of the times the most alluring shades that you could get from Ritual de Fille are site exclusive. So there is a retailer in Pittsburgh that carries Ritual de Fille, but a lot of the shades are not available there because the shades that I would want. So like Wasp, I think, is a site exclusive, which is one of their Nectar pigment balms, and it's the most interesting one in my opinion. I think Intuition might be a site exclusive. The contour I use quite a bit. I think that's site exclusive. So I can't even pick up a refill. So I have to either spend more at Ritual de Fille to not have to pay shipping. And I don't mind paying shipping. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like, if the product's more expensive and I'm paying for shipping, it's like, I don't even know that I'm gonna like this that much. And that's kind of what's boiling down to. So if you know of any brands that have them, drugstore or like mid-range, or even if you know a luxury brand that isn't one of the ones that I've already stated, like Ritual de Fille, and I do think Ritual de Fille is a luxury brand, by the way, that has something like that, let me know. I think I would prefer it to be something with a wand. So the Rabanne one doesn't really excite me really as much, but it could be an option. And I know that Kaki really likes it. And we have had similar taste in lip product, so I think I would like it, but it's I just don't know that I want to spend that much. But it's definitely something I want. I want to try. It's been on my radar for a bit, ever since I tried the lip lac from Isamaya. I think Kaleidos also has one. So Kaleidos is also in the running. I've never tried that formula. I think it's a newer formula to them, the lip oil gloss things that they released. But it's going to remain on my list. I'm very enticed by it. I know we're kind of moving out of darker colors being in fashion, but I feel like I always kind of go back to my grungy-ish roots, at least for lip products. I feel like maybe the rest of my face has become a little less grungy over the last year, which is fine. There's ebbs and flows to taste. It's not really this colorful land that I'm living in, but I've been playing with color a lot more, which has been a lot of fun. And I think you've all been enjoying the aesthetic shakeup. This one I'm fairly certain I could remove from the list. I think the initial spark was gone, but I was very enticed by the Make Beauty eyeshadows, the single eyeshadows, whenever they first launched. And I'm glad that I'm on an eyeshadow no-buy. I don't even remember which video I talked about it, but I'm on an eyeshadow no-buy this year. And I'm accepting new eyeshadows from brands if they are sending it to me in PR, but I'm not personally spending my money for budget review or personal taste to try new makeup. So like, I wouldn't have bought these even to review. And I'm really glad that I'm on an eyeshadow no-buy, and this would be the kind of thing that I think I would have got swept up and would have purchased had I not been on an eyeshadow no-buy. I am a sucker for a sparkly single eyeshadow in a compact. Baby, that's my bread and butter. I love that shit. It's so good. I don't know why. I have so many beautiful single shadows that are not in compacts, and for some reason, they slip my mind all the time. With the ones in the compacts, I always remember. But I also try not to get too many of those too, because they'll feel less special the more of them I have. I'm glad I waited, because indie eyeshadow lovers have not been enjoying them, but people who tend to like regular formulas have been really enjoying them. Now, there's a time and a place, I think, for most eyeshadow formulas, even if they're not for you. I can see the beauty in something like that being like baby's first sparkle. Like, you haven't quite found Cleona, Bella Beauté Bar, you haven't found Divina, like you haven't found all of these indie brands that are doing like Glaminatrix, these really interesting sparkles, like you haven't found that yet, and like this could be really exciting for you. After Lauren May Beauty reviewed them and she talked about her experience with them, and I was like, dead in the water. And a lot of you, I did a critical sass where I talked about them. And when I was doing research for that critical sass to pick out the things I wanted to talk about, I added them to my list. But even in the live chat on Critical Sass, there were a handful of people who were like, Tom, you're not gonna like them. So, and I'm glad. So I'm going to remove these from my list. This early in the year, since I'm not buying eyeshadow, it's going to have to survive until January 1st of 2025. It's going to have to be really interesting to make me want it for that long. Because I think that even things that I'm the most excited about, I would dissipate interest in over time. There's so many legacy products that I feel like I'm much more interested in trying right now, or things that have been around forever that I'm interested in trying. I don't know that anything on my wish list is like super old, but there is something that I've owned before that I think I might want to buy. And that's actually the next thing on my list. I want to buy a glitter eyeliner. I used to have one of the liquid liners from Urban Decay that had the glitter in it, and I panned one. I used most of it. I think I couldn't really get anything out, and then it like kind of dried up, and it was just kind of like the time had come for me to like pass it on to the grave. It really stood the test of time. If it was something that I think I bought in my original makeup purchasing whenever I was even doing drag makeup, like it was from that era of makeup, and I used it for years and years, and it like used it all the way up. It took me a really long time, but I still used it up, and I really like it. Another thing that those are really nice for is if you are applying like something similarly sparkly on top, you can use that as the base, and while it's still tacky, press the other shadow on top of it, and it's almost like a primer. Really love that. Actually, a Sephora employee taught me that trick, because I think the summer I got into makeup, Sephora did like, every now and then, you might not pay attention to this because I don't think as a consumer it's as obvious as whenever you work there, but there's like normally a focus. Typically in the new year, it's like clean skin, like, you know, just taking care of your skin in the new year. But in the summertime, there's normally like fun things like, but that year, I think glitter was like the focus of what was, it's normally whatever is on that front bay. Like when you walk into a Sephora and they have that display of just a bunch of random stuff from a bunch of random brands. That's like what that's what Sephora is normally focused on. I don't know if they do that anymore, but that's what they used to do. And I really, really liked that Urban Decay liner. I was just in an Ulta last night that carries Half Magic Beauty, which I've never seen in person. Pittsburgh Ultas don't always get stuff. Like I just saw About Face in an Ulta for the first time yesterday. And I don't know if it's because of the Ulta I went to and its location. It was weird because it didn't have Chanel, but it did have Half Magic and it also had About Face, which I've never seen in an Ulta before. I don't know why that is. But Half Magic has them too. And I swatched 2 of those, but then I don't know if Ulta doesn't carry the heavy metal liners because it's a Sephora exclusive, because sometimes that happens with brands. Tarte is the biggest culprit of that, but I don't know that Urban Decay is. I couldn't find the glitter liners from Urban Decay. Half Magic didn't seem to have as much glitter as I remember, and I also know that Urban Decay recently reformulated them, and I don't know if they're more sparkly, less sparkly, or the same amount of sparkle as whatever I had my original one. Anyway, the reason I want this is because I have been playing a little bit more. Well, I mean, I love glitter. Hands down, period. I just love glitter. I just love glitter. Love sparkle. That's no surprise. But like, you can see my eye makeup today, which I did in a previous video. This would have been a lot easier to do with like a glitter liner situation. I don't think I want a ton, but I think I would probably like want 1 or 2. So maybe ultimately I would buy one from Half Magic to try Half Magic. Also, I wanted to say Half Magic, far more impressive in person than it is online. Like I liked the textures. I really liked a lot of what I was touching. Obviously I didn't try it on my eyes, but there's still I've showered and washed my hands many times. There's still a little bit of a stain from one of the matte liquid shadows that I tried. They might be on Shop My Shelf, so I might be able to reach out to them. I don't know that for sure, but I will look into it. I'll see if I can get us the hookup, and then if not, I will be our own personal hookup. I will just buy some stuff from Half Magic Beauty. All that to be said, I do think I want a glitter liner. I think it remains, especially as we're heading into like summer. Like I just feel like a glitter liner. Don't come from my neck, because I know that Annalise Post has recently been talking about glitter eyeliner. I wanted it before she talked about it. And it wouldn't be a bad thing if I did want it because she talked about it, okay? Okay, I'm not trying to copy Hannah Louise posts all the fucking time. Stop it. This is something I think I want, but I like kind of taught her on. Feels like something if I really wanted, I would have bought it already because it's been around for a while now. So Rudi Berry, who's another YouTuber, created a freckle pen, and a lot of my other creator friends either bought it or got it in PR. I never really like partook in the freckle aesthetic, but every now and then I want to try it. I had to make do with what I have, and I don't have a lot of things where I could like imitate a freckle. I don't have eyebrow products, which I know like dip brow, sometimes eyebrow products are like what people use as an alternative. As someone who is not an eyebrow haver, I don't have anything for that because I just don't have eyebrows. I don't keep any brow products floating around. And then I don't have like a lot of things that I can do that with. The problem with this is because I don't really have anything to effectively do it now. I haven't done enough freckle looks since I've been interested in this freckle pen to know if it's actually something that I want to pursue, to have a tool specifically for that. And that's why I'm like hesitant to like pull the trigger on it. Because one of 2 things could happen if I buy it. I could buy it and be like, I'm 100% a freckle person now. I'm going to use it in many of my looks. Or maybe I'm not a freckle person now. I have this thing specifically to do freckles and I don't even want to do freckles. I think the thing has been, since I have been playing with color a little bit more, I've been feeling a little more ethereal about, like I've always loved ethereal color and texture, but I feel like the look is also, whenever it's colorful, it just feels like very fey. Freckles would work really well in that situation. I guess I do a lot of like, I guess what could be like clean girl adjacent makeup. I think I would use it more with the colorful looks. I don't know. It's like a fantasy I have. It's not, I just don't know if buying that would be worth my time. I'm going to keep it on the list. I still want it. And I think ultimately what's going to happen is I'm going to buy it to just try it to see if it's something that I'm interested in. I have heard that that is the best freckle thing. I know there are some other freckle products. I've seen a lot of people who like the freckle trend try a bunch of freckle products and not like many of them, but I've heard kind of exclusively good things about this Rudi Berry one from Beelzebub. That would probably be the route I would go. And I, like to support another creator, and I want to see what that creator made. This is so dumb, and I know I'm going to end up buying it. Victoria Beckham, this is so dumb, released a double cleanse duo. It is... It is $120. It's $120 for this. I like expensive skincare. I do. The problem number 1, and Natalie of My Skin Dress already pointed this out in her Instagram stories, and it's something that I already thought about. I'm glad that other people are seeing it and saying it. It's only as of now comes as a duo, which I don't like. There is not a world where I use both of those products at the same pace. I don't always feel like I need to double cleanse at the end of the day. I mostly double cleanse when I have a full face of makeup on. which is not every day. And even then, I probably would use them at different rates. I would probably only use 1 pump of the cleanser and then 2 pumps of the oil. And I don't know, I haven't tried this. Maybe it's a pump for pump situation. But typically if I'm using a cleansing oil, which I do, cleansing oil is normally my first step. I don't like balms. I don't like having to stick my finger in something. And I normally like a pump. So like I normally do 2 pumps and then that's what I do for my first cleanse. And then I use like 1 pump of another cleanser, like a regular cleanser, to wash the rest of my face. So that's a problem. If I'm not using it at the same pace, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I would like to see them, one, become tall. You know, like that's what I need. I need them to come separately. Also, it's just, why do I want that? I don't know why I want it. I'm gonna buy it. Like it's just the second I need to re-up on a cleanser, I would like to try it. But right now, I think I have much less regular cleanser, and I have a lot of my first step cleanser. It wouldn't make sense because I would. Yeah. So honestly, I think I do want to ultimately try it. I will probably wait until they separate it. I hope that's on the docket. Like I hope that they plan on doing that. I can understand launching it that way, but I would buy them one at a time. For sure. Like I want to try them. And I also want to see what they would price each thing at. Like, are they both going to be $60 each, or would one be more expensive than the other? Because my guess would be that the first cleanse would be like $70 and the cleanser would be $50. I'm not sure, but they look beautiful. I do think if I run out of my one cleanser, which is, I'm trying the cleanser from Rephr, which I adore. It sounds like the cleanser from Prequel, which sounds very similar to what the Rephr one is, and I want to try it. Hold on, I think my pizza's here. It was the pizza, so I am back. And the next 2 things I'm going to discuss with you on my wish list, and these are the final 2 things. Merit and Westman Atelier both released a line of matte lipsticks, and I'm interested a little bit in both. From Westman Atelier, there's a lipstick shade called Rue, and from Merit, there's a shade called Equestrian. In true Tom fashion, they are both brown lipsticks, the deepest brown in both collections. That's what I'm attracted to. And the thing is, I don't really want another lipstick, but I'm attracted to both of these for a couple of different reasons. From Merit, I really like their regular signature lip. It's one of my favorite lip products that I own. The shade 1990 is an absolute banger. I love it. I use it all the time. It's a very good shade. Westman Atelier has typically really, really good packaging, and their previous lip stuff was stuff in like a pan that you'd apply with a lip brush. I'm not going to do that. There's like a line I draw in the sand whenever it comes to some things, and it's like a potted lip product. I would never use it. It would not go in the component that I have to hold all of my lip products, and I would just forget about it. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Westman Atelier had lip products out before that weren't in a container. Well, I never tried the Squeaky Clean lip balm because I don't care. I'm not a really big lip balm person. It's kind of those things like if they come my way, I'll use them and I'll let you know, but it's also like not something I desired. I'm not Lauren. Lauren had like 25 lip products in her purse at all times when we were in Vegas, and it's just like, that's not me. I don't need that many lip balms. It takes me forever to just use one up. I like forget that I have them. I have a couple around the house. I have one in my purse, and I still forget to use them. But the packaging of this looks really lovely. Now, sometimes I've been looking at swatches, and I've been looking at lip swatches of all of these products. And on both Merit and Westman Atelier's website, both of these look really red. Let's talk about Westman Atelier for a second. Westman Atelier is not very good at photographing their products, because I bought their blush in the shade Mimi because it looks like on their website like this like very gray cool toned pink, and it's not at all in real life. Like it doesn't look like that at all, but somehow in all of their marketing photos it looks gray pink, and it isn't that. It isn't that. It's a warm pink. It's a warm, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it to you. It's an interesting color. I still love that blush, but it's not what it looks like on the website. And I feel like if I hadn't bought it, I wouldn't have known, right? Like I would have always been like this elusive color to me. There's been like a big divide about what people are preferring, because these both happen to be released at the same time, which is, it's interesting for a matte bullet lip to be the thing that they're releasing right now, I guess. Like it's kind of interesting that is the route that they have chosen to go, both brands, and release them kind of simultaneously. I've seen a lot of people preferring the Westman Atelier one, but I've also seen a lot of people preferring the Merit one. And so I just don't even know which way I would go. And it could be one of those things where I could make it about my channel and be like, let's buy these 2 shades, see how close they are. I don't even know if they're supposed to be close. Like, I don't even know if that's something, but like, I love deep brown shades. And the thing is like, I have a lot of deep brown lipsticks. A lot of brown lipstick. Because I would say that I always like love a nude. So something that is the same depth as my skin tone, but also like brown, you know, it's like, I was like a deep brown, like I like a deep brown. Something that's kind of vampy feeling. Based on images from both brands, I can't decide if I really think that either one of them would work for me. A lot of the Sephora's in Pittsburgh carry Merit, so I probably at some point would be able to swatch it. We don't have any of our stores carrying Westman Atelier at this time, so I couldn't swatch that one. My gut is more interested in the Westman Atelier one. I think that's the one I would prefer. Like, that would be the one that I would want, and just packaging wise. Although I like the Merit packaging too. I assume it's just the same, but a little bit different looking component than their signature lips. Ultimately, I'm probably not gonna buy either one of them, but I don't want to take them off. I'm gonna see if I land somewhere, like I really want to try one. But I almost bought one from Westman Atelier right when they launched, but then I did hold out. So I think I made the right choice there. Anyway, that wraps up this video. What's on your wish list right now? What are you debating? What are you talking yourself into? What are you talking yourself out of? Do you keep a wish list? Let me know how you're doing with your wish list. So I'm going to be doing another Critical Sass filming this upcoming weekend, and so probably more things will get thrown on there. I plan on doing these wishlist check-ins when I feel like I've added enough things that things need to be sorted out a little bit. So everything that survived this one we'll bring up again in a future video about it, just to see if I bought it or if, you know, because I probably will keep them on my wish list even after I bought them to reflect, to be like, I bought this and I can remove it from the list. Anyway, all of that to be said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new to my channel, this is a lot of what my channel is about. Really trying to get into whether or not a makeup purchase is good for me. I want to build the habit and help you build the habit of just being more discerning about what we're buying as far as makeup goes. It's just like, do I have something like that in my collection? What's that formula going to do that the formulas that I already have can't? So I just like to think about all those kinds of things. So I'd love to have you subscribe if you aren't already. Make sure to like this video. I'm on patreon.com if you would like to support me there. It's patreon.com/hautemesstom, or you can join my channel members. Both are the same. You get the same thing on both of them. And that is one additional video every month. And then I also do my podcast with Kanki of Kanki Reviews Beauty, and we do one episode a week where you could get that. So check that out if you are interested, but there's no pressure to join Patreon or my channel members. I'm just really happy that you're here watching, commenting, and sharing my content. That's the best way to support me. But thank you to all of my current channel members and patrons. You're so fab. And I think that wraps up this video, everyone. Remember to follow your haute, and you'll find me. And I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth, tits out. Bye-bye.